Hi, my name is Wanda and I'm going to channel. And today we're going to have a chat with Ash about universal topics, we would say. And so if you're on YouTube, press like and subscribe. Don't forget, it's on one side or the other. And if you're on Facebook, welcome to the Messages of Love from Beyond Facebook page. So I just have to say hello while Ash is coughing. And then we will continue on and I'll go back at the end. Okay.
Sounds good.
We will speak of truth. This is very important for you. You are the sort of human who is a bottom line. You like to know what the bottom line is. Don't give me all the fluffy stuff around. Get to the point. So often the exchanges that are had here are very pointed. So the energy that you bring forth, you must be aware of the energy that you bring to this energetic exchange. It is not all about the universe must tell you something. It's not at all this. This is you, your energy, your question, your way of being in the world. All of that comes forth, joins with the energy of the universe, and it is a creation. So this exchange is a creation that would not be unfolding anywhere else with different humans or anything. So this is not, it's important to understand this is not a lesson at this plus this plus this equals this. And as much as you would like it to be so, it's important for you to think broader and come to understand that you are a powerful manifester of energy, conversation, information. So when these exchanges occur, you are as important or valuable or involved as the universe of love. The universe of love is not a big expert to be sought after for great information. This has been the way it has been perceived through the centuries, as if you're small, insignificant beings and you speak to the largest, most revered information keeper of all time. That is truly not the case these moments. At the time, it was important for the era where that was considered because the humans were evolving. They still felt as if they're insignificant. Unlike you, for instance, you don't feel insignificant at all. So now the conversations are more alive. They are more dated and pertinent, and they've always been truthful, but they've been swayed by the receiver. So the receiver with this energetic exchange is always upbeat and informative, a believer of larger concepts, so open to the idea that there's more going on in the world, you see. The other times there was not so much belief in this, and it was a great fear of this energy, the universe, oh God, must be afraid. Humans are no longer afraid of this. So now the energetic exchanges are more correct. They are more, you are able to receive more because you are beginning to understand that you are energy, you are the universe of love, that it's not separate from you, that you're all part of it. So it's very different discussion. So it's important for you to understand that you bring forth a certain personality and open energy to receive this. You have a great capacity for new information. So that is what is being accomplished here. It is not like the old times. So we just wish to bring that forth for clarity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's great. I was listening to some of the recordings we had done in the past, and it's really interesting to go back because there's many points that come through that just I didn't quite hoist in at the time that I'd heard them. So as I reflect back on the conversation, listen to it again, there's many more things to learn. So I've enjoyed that. But one of the things that I guess is a rather obvious question is that I never did think to ask was, why is it when we come onto the earth plane that we forget? Like I can understand forgetting past lives
Wow.
with the
Yes.
perspective that you don't want that to interfere with this life. But in general, we lose that connection. And a lot of this messaging is about trying to reconnect to the
Yes.
universe of love, or that universal energy that we once experienced.
Yes. So as you come forth in human form, you are coming from a place where your energy, you have no limbs, you have no lungs, you have no physical being, and you certainly have no strange conversations and interactions and human rules. You see, before you are in your physical form, you're just love energy. As you come through, you're coming through as love energy, but suddenly it becomes very complicated right from the moment when you are passing through a human body. You are begin to learn about pain and agony. So this is very different. This is your physical being. So as your very first breath is painful, you've never felt it before. What is this? What is this? So that's your beginning, and now you come to switch your focus. Now I'm physical. Now I'm physical. I must focus on it. I must focus on being physical, because now it demands all of my attention. It wants to eat. It wants to cry. It wants to kick its feet. It moves. Its eyes hurt. The ears. Every single hair. Now you're able to feel it. So you come in a very sensitive energy. But eventually you must learn to live within the physical bounds of a being, a physical body, which takes all of your attention. So that is how the focus shifts, because it should. Because you're not energy now you're physical. So your beginning of your time is very much spent learning how to move, how to breathe, how to open your mouth, how to open your eyes, all these sensations, dust in your eyes, everything, overwhelming sensations, having a physical body. So then all of your focus goes on the physical. So it's not until you're able to master your physical being in a way that's efficient enough, but it goes from one to the other. So once you learn how to move your being and you start to understand, you'll have little bit of scratches and pain or all of these weird things. Once you begin to master your physical being, then you're put into a indoctrination camp. Then you're put into a place that's sort of like a little army. And now you have to learn something different. You've mastered your physical being, and now you're delving into your emotional and mental being. Now there's rules you have to fit in. You don't know if you do. You look different than the others. You feel different than the others. Now your attention's given to this. So first your attention was given to the physical. Now it's given to the emotional. And pretty soon after that, you have to give to the mental, because that's what they tell you. You must go to this place. You must learn things, and they will tell you if you're good or bad, and if you may leave or you have to stay. So now you understand this is the new rules. Oh dear, now I have new rules to learn. Then you learn the mental rules. These mental rules go on for a long time. Now there's still no time for you to contemplate why. Why am I learning this physical, mental, and emotional things? Why? Why am I learning this? Because you get caught up in them. So there's no time or space to think, is there something else besides these things? Is there another part of me? For there will be certain incidences and triggers that happen to you all along, all the time your spiritual self is hovering around, waiting to be noticed. But you can only catch glimpses of it. If you say, what was that? Oh, it looks like a fairy. I must do my homework. I must do this to be accepted on this earth. And you come back to it. And then you glance something. Did I see something in the corner of my eye? Now, all of these go on all of the time. Now, depending on how much your focus is upon this, the learning, the mental, emotional, physical things, you do not have the capacity to stretch yourself to discover the supernatural, non-physical, because it's not accepted by the humans, and you're trying to fit in. So a lot of your life is learning how to fit in. It's not until pretty far along that you say, why do I want to fit in? Why do I want to live my life on a mental element? Why must I be perfect emotionally? You're not able to question these beliefs until you've passed through them, which takes a bit of time. Only when you've passed through may you discard them. Not discard them completely, but discard them in a way, discard them partly. You don't have to focus all of your attention on them. But it takes a time in life where you're able to say, well, I did pretty good with that. What actually is going on over here? What's happening? There's voices, buzzing, all of this. What is happening? So it takes some time to get through to this. So this forgetting is because your original question was, how did you forget in the beginning? Of course you forgot in the beginning. You don't know how to breathe. You don't know how to eat. You don't know how to move your organs. You don't know any of this. So of course you're focusing on that. You've never had a physical body that you can recall. And of course all your attention goes to it. Does that make sense to you?
Not quite, because I think about it's like taking a vacation. You can take a vacation, go somewhere and have an experience. Then you can come back or go to a different be in a different environment, and you can remember things, like lots of key things about that experience in that other place.
But that is done when you are older. That is done when you're older. If you are a newborn, it's your first day on the earth, you don't remember your vacation.
No, because you wouldn't have had that experience. But I'm saying, if everything is energy, and the thoughts and those memories are just simply energy, one would think that you would remember all of, I don't know, maybe some energy is suppressed for a specific reason, so we focus on this life. I can understand that logic, but I guess the fundamental question is, well, why can't we just remember being in non-physical or being, other experiences? All we remember is what we've, or for me anyway, what we've experienced in this lifetime alone.
Yes, the suppression is not the word. Suppression is a human word that you have learned through your indoctrination with other humans who have taught you how to behave in a setting that is conducive to groups. So that word is not a word by the universe of love. When you come into your human form, you want to do well. You want to be a human, and it's overwhelmingly shocking. You're overwhelmed. It's absolutely, you're out of your depth at the beginning. You don't know what's going on. You've come into an alien form and asked to perform without knowing the rules or anything. So it's overwhelming. And of course your attention goes to it. You're asked to play a game, and not just to play any game. You're asked to play a game and win without knowing the rules or anything. You know how stressful that would be for you. That would make you right out of your mind. Hi, we're going to play this game, and you must win, or else we're throwing you into the pit. And you don't know the game, but you're going to try pretty hard. Or you're going to focus on it and try to pretend you know the game, or you're going to try to figure it out as you go along. You're going to try to watch the others, see how they play it. This is life. If you can understand it in this way, which you're better equipped to understand analogies like this, you'll understand what it would be like to push you into, let us say, what is this called? The bullfight. Let's say that. You're going into a bullfight. You've never seen a bull before, and you don't have any weapons or anything. They're going to push you through and say, hey, bye, have good luck there. And all of a sudden, this thing is going to come at you. You don't know if you should talk to it, run away. You don't know, wrestle to it. You don't know. You just don't know. You don't have the capacity to know. You don't speak the language of it. You don't know. That's what life is like now. So there's no premeditation or anything. There's no need to say, I must forget. I'm going to forget about this because I want to fully live life. It just happens that way. You come in with great love intentions, but life is overwhelming. Now, if you can think back to your time when you were a very, very small one, you'll understand that you didn't know what was going on. It was absolutely overwhelming. You cried all the time. You didn't know. I'm uncomfortable. I'm hungry. I don't even know what I am. I just feel awful. I just cry all the time. I don't fit in here. I can't even move. I have no options. I can't leave. I'm stuck. Very overwhelming. So all of the attention goes to it. So you're learning as you go along. You're learning how to fit in. Now, the real question here is not the one you have asked. The real question is, why can't I use what I used to know to make my life more fulfilling now? Why do I have to try to find the rules of man and follow them? Why must I believe that the men who are teaching me the rules have authority to do so? Why? Why must I follow rules made by man? You see, instead of the rules made by the universe of love. The reason is because you have a physical body, so you follow the rules of man. You don't begin to question them until you yourself become this size, this speaking of authority. So this is truly what you're wondering. You're wondering, why haven't I used my extreme knowledge of the universe all of my life? It would have been very, very different. I would have made different decisions, met different people. I would have consulted the universe before I made these financial decisions or life decisions with humans. I would have consulted the universe. Seems very straightforward and easy, but you can't all live like this, for then you would not have a true physical experience. You'd have a half physical experience and you'd be half in the universe of love. If you want to have a true experiment of how humans interact together on a planet, there must be this certain drawing and need to fit in with others who look like you. So you have not so much now. At this time, you're involved in this energetic exchange, so it's different now for you. But much time ago, this conversation would not have been had, it would not have been received, it would not have been encouraged, it would not exist. You wouldn't even know what was going on. What are you talking about? It's insanity. So there are times in your life when you're a little bit through it, that you can have these, when you can stop for a minute and breathe and think, what's really going on? What do I really remember? Then you can start opening to it. So it's important in the beginning to fit in with physicals and try to follow the rules, because you have to hear the rules before you reject the rules and question it. Because you can't come in being a rebel and fighting with everyone all of the time, because you're not truly, that would just be your irritated nature, say no to everything. But a true life experience is listen to what there is to be had, learn what there is to learn, and then turn it upside down and question it. And that has to come when you're a little bit spent much more time on the earth. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Wonderful. Now, I guess a follow-on question to that is, how does instinct work? Like with animals, they'll come into,
Yes.
they're born and they automatically know to feed and where to find the milk and how to stand and that sort of thing. And yet they're not seeing that demonstrated, they just know it. So how does that knowing relate to remembering in the same way, or does it?
They are not remembering an external experience from the universe of love. They are living their lineage. The lineage is just in their system. Now, when you're first on the earth, you have a similar instinct before it is squashed. So you are able, when you are very new to the earth, to find your way to your nourishment at the very beginning. The beginning moments are the same as with a creature that is born and walking around your earth. Your first moments are the same. It's very creature-like. It's an instinct that is known from your system, your lineage. So the small one learns this. It's the same as the animal. If there was no brain, intellectual brain, it would continue on in this way, and you would be just like an animal, but they're different. Humans are different than the animals. You don't spend all of your life living by instinct, but as a small new one, you do. So there's no connection, there's no place for the animals to return to. They are not soul-like. They don't return to the universe of love. So it's a different experience there.
Mm-hmm. So this is like encoded information within their DNA that they can access. as
Yes,
a new.
yes, same as this newest baby.
Because I think about a human baby as quite helpless for probably the first year at least anyway.
Yeah,
It can't feed its.
That's true. The first moments, it can find its source of nourishment if it is not moved by another human.
Interesting. Because the baby can't even crawl. Like once it's born, I mean, the instinct for the mother would be to pick it up and cuddle it and nurse it. So, the first care that it would receive would be because of the mother's instinct, I would think, to
If the
nurse
small one, if the small one were left
Hmm.
of its own devices, and it could, and the nourishment was left close by, it would find it on its own.
Very interesting.
Without humans interact with them all the time. They say, you're a helpless thing, we're going to take care of you. But and they're really, of course, quite helpless, but the nourishment, you see, would be the same. Same instinct for the newborn animal. The mother would be there and the little one would find it. That happens the same in the first few moments of life. Before the life is taken from you, then the child is not, runs its own life after that, not for a long time. Then the parent, the adults take it, move it, do things to it, whatever it wishes.
Interesting. I guess just on the same kind of thought there, do birds have a connection amongst themselves? Like you can see birds or even schools of fish will all swim in a particular direction or all react at the same time, or it seems to when you're visibly looking at them. And one has to wonder, well, I wonder if there's some force that directs birds and how they move and if they're tuning into it collectively. Or if that's just, or they're just really sensitive to each other's movements and they all seem to move in unison by watching them.
Yes, they have learned that through their systems, how to behave in the world.
Interesting. Because I've heard some statistic for humans that we have like something like 40,000 pieces of information bombard our brain at any one time. Like think about all of the non-automatic bodily functions that we have, and yet there's no conscious thought given to it, but we're only consciously aware of, I don't know, something like 50 or particular things at any one time. Otherwise, our brains would just be overwhelmed with all of the input. So I thought, well, the conscious brain must be like a sieve in a way, or a filter to pull forward the things that are most important for it at that time. So just as you're talking, I'm thinking, well, I wonder if maybe it's the conscious brain that is filtering things out and saying, well, don't put attention on the energetic aspect because it's not important. So we tune it out. I'm just reasoning what you're saying here and trying to make sense of it.
This is a fancy way to put what we are saying. When you're in your physical form, and you're only able to do certain things, the most important thing you've decided to do is survive. And you're smart enough to start figuring out, how do I survive here? And then you follow the rules of man. You find out what the rules are, if you can. You're trying to pay attention all the time, and you follow the rules of man. So it's all about survival. So yes, what you're saying is there are many things that are not considered because you're surviving in your physical form. Now, you are supposed to do this. This is what you came into your physical being for, to see how it would be and move around in it, see what you can do with it. So it's not as if you have come here accidentally. You've come here to have a physical experience. And that is why all of these conversations and these exchanges come back to the human experience, because that's why you're there. When you're done there, you will be energy, you will be love energy, but you're not. Right now, you're a physical being having a physical experience. You're trying to be more, trying to be more than what you seem to be. That's absolutely fine. Investigate the non-physical world is wonderful if you're able to, but it will always go back to your number one function, to stay alive. It will always go back to that because that's what you're doing there. You're having a physical experience. You're not having a spiritual one.
Mhm.
Now, that would be a great amount of discussion or argument, because why this energetic exchange? Why this? What's going on here? And this is why we began with, you are bringing this forth. So there's a part of you that says, all right, universe, bring us something. Show us you exist. What's happening up there? When this comes forth, the universe responds, of course. If you don't ask for assistance, or you're not interested in non-physical, nothing comes forth. As soon as you open to it, you'll get a lot of information. There's much information. Depending on who the human is and what the energetic exchange is about, you'll receive whatever it is. You're able to receive whatever conversation you stir up. So that always exists, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is being physical. And of course, that sounds upside down, since we are having an energetic exchange. But we are only saying what you already know. But this is absolute truth, because you look in the mirror and you will see what you are. Oh yes, I'm a human being. Number one, deal with that. When that is dealt with, yes, I see you're human. You must eat this and walk here and do all this. Okay, fine. Now that that's all met, let us have a little bit of fun and interest over here. But always the physical being comes first. That's why you're having that experience on the earth. And when it's all right, and you start reaching out to the universe, the information will come. Now, also, at any point, you may say, that's ridiculous. I'm not having any more of that. You'll go right back to your physical experience only. You may always go back to your physical experience only, because it's the most important thing while you're a physical being. You experience and experiment with the universe all you wish, but this will always be your number one focus.
Okay. Just triggering other questions here for me. So if your focus is to be physical, and you mentioned earlier, you come into the world, you need to survive, and that's your number one priority. Then I'm just thinking about sickness, and I know we've talked about different aspects of health and sickness in other recordings, but I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't your focus, like, we get these really significant diseases that might manifest in the body? One would think that your focus would then, if survival is so strong, would be to find some way to cure that sickness. So the importance of energy and using that to heal would become that much more significant for you.
What if that was still playing around with the physical? What if that was saying, I didn't know that I could make myself ill and remove myself from the earth? I wonder if that's true. What if that were equally an energy experience? The same as, I think I will live to a very, very old time. What if that were the same thing, only upside down? I think I can remove myself. I think I can live forever. What if they're the same? They're the same energy, because they're both very powerful. They're powerful, energetic fruition of energy. And they're both equally strong. I will live, I will die. Same, exact same.
And is it the conscious mind that is making those choices? Because one would think that the brain and ego are there to keep you alive, so that you would want to live as long as possible in the context of that.
Yes. So this is your brain now we are speaking with. So what if your brain were to say, I am all powerful. Therefore, I may live, I may die. What if in the end of it, it's the same thought, which is, I am powerful. I decide. It's not always, I want to live. Your ego doesn't always say, I want to live. Now, when you want to live, your ego wants to support you, and yeah, you live. When you want to die, your ego will say, yes, we can die, of course, because we can live. You hear the ego in that statement? You can hear the all-powerful ego stating. So the ego still lives when it decides, that's it for me. I will live forever. Same ego. You can feel the energy attached to the wording of that. So it's not always I'm going to live forever, because your ego will turn it around to make it about itself. I wanted to do that anyway. I didn't want to live anymore. Or I did want to live. No matter what happens, the ego will all of a sudden take responsibility for it and say, that was my idea. That's what I want. It's tricky, it's complicated, and yet it's a fine line between life and death. For when your ego feels as if, oh boy, this big thing's coming and we're going to lose, then all of a sudden it turns it around to be its idea. I knew it anyways. I knew we weren't going to live any longer because it must always be right. The ego must always be right. So it's sensing what's happening next. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? All of a sudden, there are many different things happen with humans. There's illnesses, mental illnesses, physical illnesses. So if you are the type of person who wishes to pray to the universe to be healed, that's fine, do that. If you're the kind of person who says, I didn't want to be in this stupid earth anyway, then fine, do that. There's no judgment on your decisions, whether you want to come and go or pray or fight it or be angry. There's no judgment on any of those by the universe of love, because you are having a human experience and it's up to you. You have all of the resources to make any decision you wish, and you're not punished or rewarded for any decision. You just do what you will, do what you want. Either embrace it, don't embrace it, cause illness, play with health, whatever you want to do. Argue all of the days, smile all of the days, doesn't matter. Cry all of the days too. There are many who choose that. So it is not, we don't know. Has it been more clear for you, or is that more confusing?
Well, I guess a question, it's clarifying, as it's just trying to figure out the elephant one piece at a time here. If people choose to make themselves, from what you're saying there, it seems like the choice to live or die then is entirely a conscious choice, along with the ego. So one could say, well, if you like, I'm thinking about hypnosis now, where you can really get to those deeper parts of somebody's psyche, and if you can convince them that they want to live, and you can convince them that they are powerful to stay alive, then one would think you can eliminate disease that way.
There's one more layer to this that's important. There are some thoughts so hidden deep underneath the human mind that you're not able to let them out because they're insane. There are certain thoughts kept under cover because they would, you'd become insane, you'd become crazy with the thought. So there are much information held hidden in the human brain for good reason. They're not always to be uncovered.
Could you give me an example of the kinds of thoughts that might cause insanity with someone?
I am not worthy to live, for I have injured a small child. A thought like that would be kept covered and would rather cause disease and remove themselves from the earth than uncover it. You see? The easier of the two. So you yourself must learn to be gentle with humans who don't always choose to live, don't always choose to be perky, don't always choose to see the best side of mankind, who take care of their physical bodies. There's a part of you that would be good, if you wish, to be gentler on those humans. For there's a reason humans destroy their very selves. And you would just look at them and say, well, don't do that. Well, no, that's not so easy. For then your entire earth would be full of dancing, singing humans, looking up at the sun, smiling. That's not the experience of mankind. Humans come to have many different experiences. Some are disastrous to their physical being. Some are disastrous to their mental state. Some remain hidden through their entire human lives. And some have their eyes open from a very small age, and they don't mind being different from the others. There's a few special humans like this too, who don't try to fit in with the humans, who don't mind being different than everyone else, and they embrace their truest selves. So there are many different kinds of humans having different experiences. It's important not to think that all should have the same, in that they try to fit in or try to be nice to everyone, follow all the rules, and then live their life in a rocking chair, rocking around telling stories to children. Lives are not like this. As you know very well, lives can be disastrous. They do horrible things to themselves and others. But their life is worth the same as those who follow all the rules and end up rocking in a rocking chair, reading stories to children. There's no more value on one life than the other, because they're each an experience, an experiment, you might say, to see what can I do? What can be accomplished? How far down can I go? How far up can I go? How much can I remember? How much can I forget? So you really, truly do not know what each human being is experiencing or interested in. They might not even know they're interested in it. For there are those who are destroying their bodies, and you say, you're destroying your body, and they'll say, no, what are you talking about? But you can see that they are, but they won't be able to receive it because it's hidden. It's hidden inside a certain place in their brain where there's a small amount of truth to be held. Every exchange we have, we create more confusion within you, because you're that kind of human who wants more and more and more information. So each time something is unfolding, there's more unfolding. That's the opposite word, but you know what we mean.
Yes, a cascading effect. Well, it's good because it does, through listening to the discussions and putting it together. I mean, my personal understanding has changed immensely, and I'm sure other people who watch these videos will experience the same kind of unfolding of their understanding. So it's a wonderful experience. Thank you. We've covered a lot of ground. I'm just trying to keep things more or less on track with the same topic without jumping around too much.
It is very fun for us to throw your words and your thoughts upside down. For you think your life is it can be predictable in this way that you speak of. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. So the wonderful thing about this exchange is you don't know what's going on. And this is hilarious, really, that you think you are even controlling an energetic exchange, because that's your secret place. Your secret place says, oh, everything in life is orderly. It's not at all. Things can be turned upside down in any moment. Now, as we say this, you say, oh, that's true too. So now you're holding two thoughts. Everything's orderly, everything's disorderly. What is going on here? So this energetic exchange is about turning your world upside down, about opening your heart and mind, and you are uncovering a part of you that has been unsafe for it to come out. So we are creating a space. We are humoring you with all of this information, but this energetic exchange itself is softening a part of you. You're becoming less human. You're becoming less in your brain, and there's a softness occurring. As the softness occurs, there's certain truths that may be known by you alone that you will begin to uncover by yourself. All of a sudden, you'll hear something and you'll say, that's absolutely true, and I don't know why I know it, but it is. So this energetic exchange is all about that. It's when we are answering questions, but it's not really about that. It's about you, your energy, your DNA is changing by this energetic exchange, because you're starting to be more the universe of love. And this is going to be the biggest joke for you. You are the universe of love. Pleased to meet you. Mm-hmm. You see, this is the biggest thing of all. And this is the big surprise party at the end. Oh, you know everything because you're the universe of love. Well, I thought I was talking to the universe of love. No, you are it. We are a mirror of you. And you're the universe of love. quite out there thinking, but that's what this preparation is about. It's preparing you for becoming your eternal self, because it turns out you know everything. And all of the questions you're having, this rapport and these energetic exchange are quite lovely. They're wonderful to have. For other human beings then say, oh, I didn't know I could talk to a god. This is a funny word, but that's their idea of it. They didn't know. So they're seeing you and you're talking and you're not afraid or anything. So they're going to say, maybe we can too. So you're showing others how to be. Just have a chat like you were having a chat. You just met for tea somewhere. I'm just chatting with the universe of love. Oh, I am the universe of love though. All right, I'm chatting with myself. I don't look like myself. I don't know what's going on, but I'm showing up. I'm showing up because I'm interested. I'm intrigued. What will happen now? So that's really what's going on here. It looks like a question answer period, but it's not. You are showing other human beings how comfortable it is to be the universe of love. So this is a mirror of you. You're just uncovering it because it's too hard to believe that you're so huge. Can't be, because then that would be your ego. So then your ego gets involved. You can't be the universe of love. That's very egotistical of you. But somewhere inside, you know that you are. Somewhere deep inside, you know the truth of it. But I think I am the universe of love. I just can't say it out loud because the humans will say, you're crazy, go away somewhere. But you're beginning to understand it. You're beginning to soften inside. And you're starting to be lighter and more carefree. And the decisions, although you make many questions and answers here, you're beginning to understand these don't matter. We're just trying to do something. But the answers really, really don't matter, because as soon as I uncover one answer, there's more questions, and then more questions, and we never, ever really get to any answers. You are showing others how it is to just chat and be easy. This is the most important thing. Just be easy with your whatever, call it what you want, your spiritual guides, your angels, the whatever, stars in the heavens. It's important for others to be able to have these kind of conversations. You think they're about getting information because you're that kind of person, but it's more, much, much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So as many questions as you have, there will be, all of your questions will never be answered, because part of the way of your being is to ask questions. Just ask questions about everything. Why is that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? All day long. That's just who you are. You're an inquisitive human. So it's not real. You don't care about all of the answers. You think you do, but really it's just that, hey, what's this? I can have a conversation and get weird answers from the universe. That's really what it's about. You just get a kick out of it. So this is all making you a lighter, easier human being. You're becoming softer.
I would say you describe it that I'm viewing it like entertainment in a way, to be able to ask questions and get the answers without really caring what the answers are. I would say that's not correct. That I look at it kind of like visiting a different country and learning a new culture, new customs. Yes. And it's more about an awareness where, wow, that's how they do it over there. Or maybe this is how it actually is, as opposed to what we thought it is. So it's just, it's uncovering a different viewpoint and outlook in life, but it translates into a different outlook in life for me, because now I'm thinking, well, you don't have to get so wrapped up about it, because maybe there's, you're not in control of everything after all.
Yes, this is truly what we are meaning. We are meaning, really, it doesn't matter what answer you get. So if you're traveling another place and they say, why do you always wear blue? We wear blue because it's Tuesday. You say, okay, they wear blue Tuesday. Then they wear it another day. Oh, that's a different shade of blue. That's a different shade of blue. What day do you wear that? Oh, we wear it on every second Thursday. Oh, all right. You see it on a Sunday. Oh, but if you're senior, on Sunday, you wear the blue. And it goes like this and this and this, you see. This is what we mean. You ask one question, but no one can answer it completely. So then it's different. And then a little bit, well, it depends. Oh, well, what about that? What about this? So in the end, there's not really clear answers. You can believe this yourself, that this proves this, unless. There's always an unless. Oh, but what if the temperature is different? Oh, what if it's a different time of the year? So truly, there's really no exact answers. We are giving what seems like exact answers, but they are. But when we say each human being does what they wish because of free will, that means anything is acceptable. And there's no black and white there. It's everything goes. This is what we mean by the answers are huge. They're not yes or no. They are very descriptive, and they've gone through eternity and have been considered over many different humans and many different lifestyles. Even you this moment will possibly change your answer in another moment. That's the beauty of being easy with information gathering. Even this discussion about rediscussing old topics, time has changed already. And in human time, you'd think, well, not really. It's only a few moments ago. But really, a lot has changed as well. In a moment, everything can change. That's very philosophical, but that's where you go sometimes. You go to big pictures. You're able to handle big information. So sometimes it's just put forth because you are representing those who wish for big answers.
Well, I hope I can do it justice. Thank you.
You are just by showing up, your energy exchange is already perfect. There's nothing to be done, right or wrong. That's just your old little human self trying to please. This rules, I'll please you, I'll do a good job, and then I will be able to stay. That's an old idea. You're perfect the way you are, whether you show up and just do nothing or have a cookie. It doesn't matter what you do. It's showing up that makes the difference.
Okay.
So we will be completing our discussion soon. Is there something else you wish to cover?
No, I think that leaves it on a perfect note for today.
All right. Perhaps the next energetic exchange, you will eat a cookie for the audience.
Okay. Bring cookies. Oh, good.
Let us do namaste together.
All right. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Oh my God, Ash.